we're talking programming during a pandemic. Kevin, I'll start with you. 2 different markets during that time.
Yeah.
How would you describe your approach to those 2 different markets from a programming side during the pandemic?
It's formats. Like in Dallas, Texas, where I was, COVID didn't really exist, and it was conservative talk, so it was more opinionated. We were going to drive it. Going to California, where we were in shutdown mode, completely different, and it was more of just relating to what's going on in the world, letting our hosts talk about what they're going through, because everybody was going through the same thing. So it was a little different in that regard. But yeah, the end game is when you're a programmer, and Dave knows that. You adapt to the market you're in, and you make sure you target to the listeners, what they care about. And Californians, a little different than what Texans were thinking at that point in time.
Dave, any crazy stories from that time? Like, I just think about Catching on Fire. Was there like a Comrex unit that caught on fire from one of your talent or anything like that?
No. Actually, it was we were pretty well prepared with the equipment, and we're still able to be broadcasting off of it that way. Fortunately, because we have radio networks and obviously the Avalanche. We were well equipped with a whole bunch of different equipment, access units, Comrex, these kinds of things. Our engineer had us all wired in there pretty good. So, no, actually pretty proud to say nothing got too crazy. The biggest challenge truly was on the content side of things, and Kevin, who's out there with KMBR, that's a brand that's been around a long time. We're a new brand, and so, if you're taking over a brand that's been around a while, my instincts when I've done that before is you want to minimize your risks there. When you're a newer brand, you can take a few more shots. Now, you don't want to just be completely crazy with it, but you want to see, is there an audience to talk about some things a little more outside of sports? So we did dive in a little bit to some of the more polarizing discussions, and it didn't work great for us, but we tried it. And I'm not afraid to try stuff as long as you're willing to recognize the data and see how people are responding. Then that's okay as you're trying to find yourself a new lane. So I'd say nothing necessarily caught on fire on the equipment side, but every once in a while our content probably did. Yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing.
Or not.
Yeah.
Both ways, I think.